If you're struggling to stay consistent on social media, there's a really big chance that the reason for this is because of your workflow or lack thereof. I actually spoke about this and gave you a sneak peek of my workflow and how I create all of my content in a recent vlog. And you guys responded to it so well that I decided to do a more in-depth video, and that's what today's video is. So if you are struggling to stay consistent on social media, this video is going to be for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jays and I'm here to help you grow your online presence, multiply your streams of income and create profitable businesses. So as I already mentioned in the intro, today's video I'm going to be talking all about my social media workflow. So essentially how I come up with content ideas, how I plan all my content creation, and how I actually get that content live. So before we get into that though, I do feel like I need to give you a bit of an overview of my broader business, how it works, and the different people who actually help me create all of this content, because I would be lying to you if I said that I just sat at home and created content for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, like all by myself. I don't, okay? I have people who help me. So I'm really fortunate enough to have a very small team of freelancers who help me with my content creation. So I have a video editor who's incredible. Hi Jamie, if you're watching this. Jamie is the name of my video editor and my fiance, so that gets a bit confusing. But my video editor is incredible, and he turns around my YouTube videos for me within about 24 hours. So that's one part of my team. I also have a marketing VA called Jess. She helps me run my broader business, but in relation to content creation, she helps me upload my YouTube video and does all my SEO and all my tagging as well. And then last but certainly not least, my other half, Jamie, does help me run my business. He mainly looks after my kind of media and PR, but in relation to content creation, I really like saying those three words together, in relation to content creation. But in relation to content creation, he helps me manage my LinkedIn channel. So those are the people who are working behind the scenes or behind the camera to help bring all of my content to life. If you're listening to this and thinking, oh my God, that sounds great, I really wish I had some people to help run my business, well, you're in luck, because this part of the video is sponsored by Maple. So Maple is this really cool company who specializes in pairing business owners with really talented, vetted freelancers. The company was built for the sole purpose of helping online businesses run more efficiently and basically reach their goals through the help of these really talented freelancers who they pair you up with. Now, Maple's matching process takes into account so many variables, like so many things that I think I don't even usually think of when I'm trying to find a freelancer, but Maple does the job of worrying about these things for you. So everything from the freelancer's experience within your business's specific niche, all the way through to their personality, your budget, your target audience, and even the business stage that your business is currently operating in. So they use all of this information to ensure that the freelancer who they pair you up with is the most suitable and most effective freelancer to be working with you and helping you grow your business. All of their marketers are vetted based on previous results that they've achieved through their previous work. They also use data and streamlined processes to ensure that their matching process is as efficient and as accurate as possible. So you might be thinking like, okay, great, but how many like professional marketers or freelancers can Maple actually vet, right? Well, over 600 of their freelancers have actually gone through their vetting process, which means that at any given time, there's at least 600 potential marketing freelancers who have been vetted that could be paired up with you to help you with your business. Now, these freelancers specialize in a whole range of different areas. So everything from SEO to social media to marketing strategies to paid media, which is a really big one because a lot of you guys often ask me to create videos specifically on things like Facebook ads. And what I always tell you guys is that Facebook ads is a beast, okay? I don't specialize in Facebook ads and therefore I'm not the right person to help you with Facebook ads. However, Facebook ads is a form of paid media. So if you're looking for assistance in that realm, Maple is going to be where you're going to find someone truly experienced in that area who's going to be able to help you. Another thing which really sets Maple apart when it comes to websites which help you find freelancers to support your business is the fact that their AI-powered vetting system actually offers continuous support to anyone who uses it. So what this support looks like is continuous monitoring of your freelance marketer's performance. So it's not like a match and go system. So it's not like Maple say,
okay, here's a vetted freelancer to help you with your business. is buy.
That's not it at all. They match you with a vetted freelancer, but then they also provide continuous support and monitoring to ensure that the freelancer who you're working with is actually performing to the best of their ability and really helping you meet your goals. And how they do this is by monitoring performance, keeping everyone in the know through 100% transparency, but also providing the communication tools that both parties need to ensure that both parties are continuously succeeding. So if you're interested in hiring a vetted freelancer, then I 100% recommend checking out Maple. There is a link to Maple in the description of this video. Okay, so now that we've talked about the freelancers who help me create all of my content, I'm now going to take you step by step through the process of me coming up with content ideas, creating them, and setting it live on all of my platforms. So, step one. Okay, so the first step is actually coming up with content ideas and planning them out for the month ahead. So in order for me to show you how I actually do this, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of my Asana. Now, my Asana is not necessarily the tidy... Sorry guys, someone's just decided to use a drill outside my flat. I hope you can't hear it. Now, my Asana isn't always the tidiest thing in the world, but I've tried to tidy up a few elements for you just so you could see what I'm working with here, okay? I'll also put a link to Asana in the description in case you're interested in checking it out. But essentially, I'm gonna show you parts of my Asana because I use Asana to run my entire business. So the bit what I'm showing you at the minute is my TikTok board. And I basically use this board to come up with TikTok ideas and keep track of them. So as you can see, I've selected the board section on the top, which is why it looks like this. And I've got 3 different sections. So I've got to do, doing, and done. So on the to do, I mean, I feel like I don't need to explain what to do, doing, and done means, right? You guys know what that means. So on the left is all the different ideas that I have for my TikTok. So I've got things like hidden Instagram features, a TikTok about compounding interest, about hidden TikTok features. So I basically just make notes of the different ideas that I have as and when I have them. I also have Asana downloaded on my phone, which means that when I'm on the go and I come up with ideas, which is usually when I do come up with ideas, when that happens, I can just open up my Asana app and I can put the ideas in there whilst I'm on the move as well. So, oh my God, it's not a drill, it's like a lawnmower and it's just gotten even louder. I feel like this microphone's good, so I think we're gonna be fine. But essentially, this is what I use to keep track of all of my ideas. Now, I move my ideas over to the doing section when I'm actually ready to create content on them. So sometimes I add additional information to them, like if we click on this one, how to level up on IG in 2022, I've got a bunch of notes here on what each of these TikToks, because I'll probably do a series, what each of these TikToks should include. So when I get to the stage where I'm ready to start building out my TikTok ideas, I'll move them into the doing column and I'll add some notes. And usually around that time is when I'm actually going to jump on camera and film those TikToks too. So once I've done that and I filmed my TikToks and they're edited and they're in my drafts, I then move them over to done and I just click that button and that signals that that TikTok has been created, right? So I'm going to move these back because I haven't actually done that one yet, I don't think. But essentially that's what I use. And I have a similar board for YouTube as well, where I just basically write down any YouTube idea I have. When you guys DM me asking for specific videos, that's where I keep track of all of the videos that you've asked for. And then I just move the different ideas around on my board based on whether or not I've done them or based on whether or not I've fleshed them out and whether or not I've actually filmed them yet. So that's a bit of a sneak peek as to how I come up with my ideas and keep them organized. Now, the second step actually involves planning out my content. So I've used a bunch of different planners before, but now I do pretty much everything on Asana. So what I'm going to do is show you my overall content calendar on Asana. I'm just going to show you Feb because my March one's a bit weird because I think I'm going to launch something in March, so it looks a bit different, but this is my Feb one, okay? So everything's color coded, of course. I literally can't function without some form of color coding in my life. And what this essentially is, I've clicked on the calendar tab. That's why it's got this lovely view where you can see your whole calendar. And what this is every piece of content that's going to be going live across my channels with the exception of my TikTok and Pinterest. The reason why I don't plan out my content for these two channels on this calendar is because with TikTok, I try to post around twice a day and I literally just post based on whatever has been created and whatever is in my draft. I'm not tactical with it in that sense. Like I'm literally just posting to keep up with the sheer demand of the platform. With Pinterest, I don't manage it. Jess manages my Pinterest for me, who's my marketing VA. So I don't even put it on there because she does the whole thing for me. Like, what a lifesaver. Otherwise, honestly, I wouldn't be on Pinterest because I don't have the time. So this is what it looks like. Everything in purple is Instagram. So when you actually click on the Instagram post and open it up, it actually shows you what type of post it is. So this says it's a reel, whereas if I click here, this will say it's a photo. See, so I get a better idea of what I'm doing and I'll map everything out. I'm a lot more tactical with my Instagram. I have a strategy in place, which is why it's important that I map out all of my content for Instagram using a calendar like this. The bits in orange are for for LinkedIn, I don't post on LinkedIn that often. I only really post when I've got something important to say. And as I mentioned, my other half does it for me. So for this month, I did have the announcement of YouTube Black. If you want to know what that is, check out this vlog where I talk about it in more detail. And I also was on a podcast as well, so I had some content to share around that. The kind of teal color, I feel like that's teal. That's my emails. So another thing that I have someone help me with, which I don't know if I mentioned, but Jess actually helps me with my emails. So for all of my emails, I will brief her on what my content's going to be. Sometimes it might be repurposed YouTube, in which case I'll send her a link to my YouTube channel and I'll be like, hey, can you build out an email around this? Sometimes it will just be me coming up with ideas and being like, I want to talk about this. And when that happens, I'll send her a brief where I will literally break down all of the things that I want the email to cover, and she'll tie that all together and turn that into an email newsletter for me, right? So I send out emails to my audience at least once a week, sometimes more often. And these are the actual emails that I sent out in February. So one about multiple income streams, new ways to grow on Instagram, personal branding, new IG features, etc. I'll put a link to my mailing list in the description in case you want to join. It's really valuable and people tell me that it's really helpful, so I'm really proud of it. So that's what the teal colored is. And then the, let me show weekends as well, just realized, there we go. And then the red is YouTube. So these are all the YouTube videos that I posted in February. I usually try to upload twice a week. And this is essentially all the content that I shared in the month of Feb. Now, the reason why it's really important to me that I have this kind of calendar in place, and why I recommend you have a calendar in place, especially if you're on multiple channels, is because it allows me to have this holistic view of everything what's going on, but also everything that I'm talking about. And I'm on a mission this year to get better at reposting content, and I really feel like I'm making good headway with that so far. And part of that reason is because of this planning process. So I generally tend to let my YouTube topics dictate what I'm saying on all my other channels. So for example, if I plan to create a video on my top 10 YouTube tips for 2022, there's going to be a big chance I'm going to have at least one email newsletter on that subject. I'm going to have a few TikToks around that subject. I'm going to have an Instagram reel promoting that video. Like, the content of that YouTube video will be distributed and reproduced for all the different platforms that I'm on. Also, it will be repurposed for Pinterest. Like, everything really does start from my YouTube video topic. So my advice to you is to do something similar. Figure out what channel is kind of your lead channel when it comes to the content that you produce, and let that content that you produce for that channel feed into what you end up sharing on all your other channels. So I hope that makes sense, but that's essentially what I do, which makes repurposing content a hell of a lot easier. So now that I've come up with all of my ideas for my content, and also I've put a monthly plan in place, the next thing I need to do is just check in with the people who help me actually create the content. So for example, I'll check in with Jamie and just make sure that the timings for my YouTube videos work for any sponsored videos that I've got coming up. I'll also make sure that my marketing VA is all briefed and ready to go when it comes to my newsletters and stuff like that. And I basically just check in with everyone to make sure that everyone's queued and okay with the plan that I've come up with for the following month, which brings me on to step 3, which is all around my content days. Okay, so now I'm ready to actually plan my content days. I usually try and dedicate 1 day per week to creating content because I get like all dressed up. I mean, I say dressed up, I'm just in like jeans, and I'm usually in like a tracksuit, but I still like do my hair and my makeup and stuff, and I get like mentally ready to be on camera because it's not like an easy thing to do, right? You've got to be in the right headspace. So usually I do these on Wednesdays. However, I purposely plan them for Wednesdays because it gives me a little bit of leeway and legroom in case I don't feel up to it. For example, today's Friday. So obviously this Wednesday I didn't feel like doing it. Thursday I didn't feel like doing it. Luckily today I feel like doing it, probably because I don't have a choice. But the point is that by scheduling my content day on Wednesday, it meant that I did have a bit of flexibility to push it back to later in the week if I needed to, which clearly I did this week. Okay, so I'm going to take you behind the scenes on Asana again. I've got my laptop here. I'll show you what it looks like on the screen. But because I actually do something, which I think is quite cool, which helps me plan my actual content days. So let me show you an example. Say I'm picking this Wednesday, the Wednesday the 16th of Feb, to create some content. What I'll do is I'll click on the actual date button and it will give me an option to create a new task. So what I'm going to do is call it content day, which is what I normally call it. And then what I'm going to do is open it up and actually add some information about the different pieces of content that I need to get for the following week. Now, it is worth saying that I'm usually like a week or so ahead of my calendar. So for example, I'm filming this video, but it probably won't go out for like another 2 weeks because I'm ahead of my schedule. But essentially what I'll do is I'll look at my overall plan for the next month and I'll add in a bunch of information about what I need need to create. So for example, do I need to create my YouTube top tips video? Do I need to create my IG updates video? I mean, I'm not, look at the spelling of these, what's going on? Updates, I can spell, kind of. Updates, do I need to do TikTok 1 and TikTok 2, and maybe I need to do this reel or whatever. So I'll look at my calendar and I'll write down all the different shots that I need to get, right? And then what I do is I actually assign it to myself. So what this does is it actually brings this task onto my main to-do list. So none of these other kind of tasks on my content calendar have been assigned to me because they're not a to-do list thing. They're just there for me to see when they go live. It's not something that I need to do yet. So by assigning this task to me, it will actually make it appear under my own to-do lists, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what I do, and then I've assigned it to me, so let's press exit. So what I'm going to show you now is my tasks, which is basically my to-do list area on Asana. So it's at the top left, click on my tasks, and this shows me all of my tasks literally well into the future, right? These are all of my tasks that I've got to get done. These are all the tasks that I've done in previous weeks. So for example, if we focus on this week or the week coming, this is what my tasks look like. I'm off on Monday and half of Tuesday because I'm going to a spa. How exciting. That's why it says time off. And then it also has my broader business tasks. So please remember that this video is about content creation. Content creation is one part of my business. I also have a membership. I have one-to-one coaching clients. I work with brand sponsors. Like there's loads of other stuff that I do as part of my business. So that's what these other tasks are referring to. But essentially, because I've created that content day task and I've assigned it to me, it's appeared here. So can you see? It's appeared here on the Wednesday content day. I'll click on it and it's going to have all of the pieces of content that I need to create. So now when I log onto Asana and look at my tasks for the day or for the week, this is usually where I operate in Asana, I can see my content day and all of the content that I need to create based off of my content calendar. See what I mean? I can also see what else I need to get done for that day. And here's an example of what I need to get done on my standard content days. Any task that's a variation of pink is a content task. So these are YouTube, that's TikTok, like that's my content day. I've got some other things in there that I need to work on. But that's how I essentially use my content calendar to inform my weekly tasks, and that's how I actually plan out my content days. One thing that I forgot to mention about the actual planning process for my content days is that I do actually use a Google Doc to plan all my YouTube content. So whilst I just use Asana to kind of keep track of all my YouTube ideas and my TikTok ideas and my reel ideas and stuff like that, when it comes to YouTube, because that is like my primary source of content, and as I mentioned, all my other content comes from my YouTube videos, I actually use a Google Doc to properly and thoroughly plan out my videos. So I write prompts, I don't write scripts because otherwise I feel like I'm being robotic. So I write prompts for my YouTube videos, I keep them all on this Google document, and that is what I refer back to before I actually start creating my content. So the time has come to actually create some content. How exciting. We've done all of these previous steps and now it's time to actually sit down in front of a camera. The content days actually run pretty smoothly because of all the prep that I've done. So what they normally look like is I get ready first thing in the morning. If I leave creating content to the end of the day, then I'll never get it done. So I get ready the second I get up and I immediately get set up to start creating content. I usually create my YouTube videos first and then I create TikToks and Reels immediately after my YouTube video. I do this because it's a lot easier for me to break down all of the content that I've just shared in a YouTube video in a TikTok or a Reel immediately after filming the YouTube video, because all of that information is fresh in my mind. So I usually create all my short form video content immediately after filming my YouTube videos. I get between 2 to 3 YouTube videos done at any one time. I don't create more than that because otherwise I start to get really fatigued, and you can kind of tell, like in my videos, I just get a bit like, meh. So I usually try to cap it at 3. I will then send my YouTube videos off to my video editor the same day and he'll turn them around within 24 hours because he's amazing. I also get to work editing any short form video content like my TikToks and stuff like that the same day as well, just to get it out of the way. I then also schedule my content for Instagram, write all the captions and get all of that good stuff done on the same day. So it really is an end-to-end content day. Safe to say by the end of it, I have a headache and I'm tired, but I also feel just like really fulfilled and really like on top of my game, you know? It's a good feeling. So the fifth and final step is the actual publishing of the content. Now, because I use schedulers such as Agora Pulse to schedule out all of my Instagram content, most of the time I don't have to do anything when it comes to actually setting my content live. Sometimes I send notifications to my phone rather than allowing Agora Pulse to automatically publish content. And I usually do that when I'm trying to share a carousel or a reel or something like that, because most scheduling platforms don't support that type of content. When it comes to TikTok, I save everything in my drafts and I have a reminder at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. every single day to post to TikTok. Now, do I post twice a day, every single day? Not always. Like, a lot of the time I end up ignoring those reminders on the weekend because I'm just not, like, I'm not a content creator on the weekend. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I don't know what Instagram is on the weekend. I'm like, Instagram, TikTok, what's that? But the reminders do help me keep on track during the week, especially when I have loads of content in my drafts ready to share. When it comes to YouTube, as I mentioned, Jess, my marketing VA, is completely trained up in actually uploading my YouTube content for me now, which is great. So I just send her a link to the video once I've approved it with my video editor. And I also send her this lovely document, which is a briefing document. This document includes everything she needs to know about the video in order to get it up and scheduled. So everything from what needs to go in the description, some hints for the different tags that she needs to include, and she's completely trained up on using TubeBuddy to optimize my videos for search. It also includes things like suggested titles and any other links that need to be included, such as my end screen and stuff like that throughout the video. So she does all of that for me. Once that's up and running, I will create my thumbnail, add it and get it scheduled, and it will just go live by itself. So that's pretty much everything. As I mentioned, when it comes to LinkedIn and Pinterest, Jamie does my LinkedIn, Jess does my Pinterest, but to the point where I'm not even involved in the process. Like, I don't even like approve stuff. Like, they just go off and do it themselves, which is amazing. And that is it. That is my content creation flow for all of my different channels, even including my newsletter. It's a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you. And it took me a while to get to the place where I've got this flow running, but I can honestly say, even though this video may have seemed overwhelming, the process isn't overwhelming. It actually flows really easily. And as I mentioned, a big reason for that is because I have such amazing people helping me manage all of this content. So if you are in a position where you are looking for a freelancer to help get you to that stage, or to help you with any of your marketing needs, I really recommend that you check out Maple and check out some of their incredible vetted freelancers. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I'm always so appreciative. If you made it to the end of this video, first of all, you need to make sure you subscribe, because clearly this type of content is a bit of you. But also, please can you let me know in the comments, because I just want to hear from you. If you feel like hanging around and watching a few more videos, I recommend checking out this video. It's all about the top mistakes that content creators are making this year, which are holding them back from catastrophic success. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I can't wait to see you in my next video.